Okay, so status things, right? So there is some good guidance about. So they're called custom token markers. And this is a page from the Roll20 wiki that I'll link below the video. It explains the whole process. But basically, what you're going to need to do is source yourself some images to relate to those. I'm not going to provide the ones I did because there's not really a good way of sharing them. But I just looked through the rulebook. Looked at all the statuses I needed to identify. Some of these I just drew in Publisher. Some of them I just found like Creative Commons licensed images that I could use for free without attribution, and stuck them all in. So these coloured dots and the X are things that are part of the default set. You can remove. There's loads of other default stuff which is very, I think, D&D orientated. Most of them wouldn't be any good for this, so I just took all those out, added in this own custom set. So we get icons here for blaze, for blind, for broken. I've named the files these so that if you hover over them you can see what they are. I think this is concussed, engaged. I don't know how useful engaged is going to be, because if two fighters are just that close to each other, you might know they're engaged. But if we want engaged, it's there as an option. What's this? This is hidden. Insane is a condition. Intoxicated. What's this one? Out of ammo. So these are some bullets. Pinned. Nice one. Prone. So pointing downwards. I'll come back to that because that's an important one. But webbed is quite obviously a web. But ready, I'm not sure how I want to use ready best. I can't really decide at the moment, and I think a lot of this is going to come out when I actually get to test it with somebody. But I was imagining you go through in your opponent's turn, you go through your whole gang, putting the ready marker on everyone, and then when they finish their action, you take that ready marker off, so you can see they're no longer readied. I don't know if it's best to do it that way or just you finish the action with a ganger. You stick that on them and then remove them in your opponent's turn. You could go either way, but yeah, I think that's a good one to do. Like I said in the last video, I talked about the changes. Flesh wounds are going to track in this circle here, or this is current toughness, and this red bar is toughness. I think that's how we'll track flesh wounds. Oh, hang on, we're missing a. I think we're missing one here. I was meant to. There's going to be one for injured as well. What used to be called man down in the old rules, and I don't know where my image for that went. I did have one of those. What did I do with mine? I think I forgot to put it in the right folder. But I'm going to yeah. So. I'm going to add that in as well. I'm using basically the same seriously injured emblem that I'm using on the injury dice here, which I'm going to come to later on, probably in the next video. But yeah, that's a simple a way of showing all of those. So if this file is broken, you put it on there. You might need to spend a lot of time zoomed in and out to see some of these, but I think that's probably the best way of tracking this stuff. Everyone can see it if they zoom in close enough. And you get all of these available for every token by default once you load them into your game. How to do that is all taken care of on this page, which again is linked below. You just need to get your images. Square images work the best. Some of the things I found were a bit rectangular, so I ended up a bit stretched and stuff, but they're so small I don't think it matters that much anyway, because they end up as 48 by 48 squares, but they suggest you upload them in 512 by 512. So I just made all the images 512 square and loaded them in, following the instructions on this page, which you can go through yourself. You don't need me to take you through all that process because it's all there. And next one, like I said, we'll look at these firepower and injury dice that I've made. This is using rollable tables, and we'll go over those then.